kiddies, it's your old pal Steve, the OG Guitar Nut. Welcome to Guitar Nuts Anonymous. So it's been about a week since my last post. I was under the weather and just wasn't feeling up to posting anything, let alone filming anything. Happy to say I'm back in health again. Good health, that is. Waste no time. Let's talk about the things that are mentioned on the title card. The NAMM 2025 show in Anaheim, California just finished up. I'm sure any of you that are watching this channel have probably already watched some of the accounts. And there was a lot of pieces of news that were interesting. And I tell you that just a few that interested me. In the first place, Behringer, my favorite borrower of technology company, put out yet another release in their Classics Reborn series. I made up that name. I don't know if they actually have a code name, but that has included the bass brass master fuzz, the tone bender fuzz, which they call the fuzz bender. What else? What am I missing? I'm missing a bunch. Why can't I not think? What's on my board? It's been a busy day already. What can I tell you? I'm in my uniform, for crying out loud. Regardless, they've got a whole series of them, and they're all super cool. And then they just dropped the Chorus Symphony, which is their $79 remake of the coveted Boss CE1 chorus ensemble, the first chorus pedal ever commercially available, which was basically the preamp and effects section of a Roland JC amplifier, but in a box, so you could use it with your Fender or with your Marshall or whatever you happen to be running. And can't wait to get my hands on one. And yes, I already have one ordered from Sweetwater. Speaking of things from Sweetwater, the other couple that I couldn't think of, one was the 69 Vibe, which is a remake of the Univibe pedal. Still waiting on that guy, of course. But I'll continue to wait because I've always wanted a real, or at least real-ish Univibe. So there's that. MXR, who apparently all the way back in the 90s bought the rights to Tom Scholz's Rockman gear and then just kind of set on it, have come out with the Rockman X100 pedal, which is all those great Boston tones and Def Leppard Hysteria tones. Joe Satriani used it on his, it wasn't Cloud9, was it? Whatever it was. Joe used it. It was sound that was heard all over the place in the 80s. The only thing it's lacking is the echo from the original units, because I guess the chip that made that echo is no longer in production or available, but it wasn't that impressive of an echo anyway. What is on there is their amazing analog chorus that always came built into the Rockman stuff. And of course, their ridiculously iconic distortion. I don't have one of those ordered. I do want one, but they're $229, which actually isn't a lot of money, but when you've gotten used to paying Behringer prices, it feels expensive. So there's that, which is very cool. What else? Did I hear anything else in pedals that grabbed me? Pedals. It seemed like there was one more, but it's escaping me at the moment. I'll come back to it if I think of it. Okay, so it wouldn't be NAMM without some kind of controversy, right? The controversy this year is coming from Fender, who has apparently more or less replaced the Made in Mexico standard series of guitars with the Made in Indonesia standard series of guitars. And they're still $599. A whole lot of people think they're just rebranded Squires. I can't really speak on the subject in any productive way because I don't know. But it does seem like a lot of bread to be spending on a off the factory floor in Indonesia guitar. I don't know. I mean, I guess with tariffs and everything else going on, they've got to make some moves, but wow. So yeah, a lot of people are up in arms about that. I don't have an opinion yet because I have nothing to base one on. But yeah, that's interesting. Gosh, that's really bugging me. I can't think of what the third pedal thing I wanted to tell you about was. But if it comes to me, you know what? I'll come along and tell you about it later. All right, so moving on. Speaking of pedals, I have a couple of pedals here to tell you about, or at least tease you with. One is I received this lovely Keeley pedal, and I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. It is the Super Bass pedal, which is Keeley's vintage Marshall in a box pedal, which is going to eventually become part of the ever-growing, ever-evolving Rig of Doom. And back to Behringer again. As I mentioned before, they put out the Bass Brassmaster Fuzz, a remake of the classic Maestro Bass Brassmaster, but in a much smaller footprint. I'm actually going to do a review of both those pedals, but they're both going to wind up on the new Rig of Doom pedal board. Yes, I'm redoing the pedal board yet again. This time it's going to be Velcro, not cable ties. So, and a bigger board because, you know, who doesn't need more stuff? And it's going to have a few surprises on it. You know, I mean, things you maybe wouldn't think of right offhand on the Rig of Doom. But I have some big ideas. And yeah, speaking of big ideas, as much as I love the Amp of Doom JC40 combo, the more I think about it, the idea of taking a 50-year-old combo amp out to gigs, you know, plus the fact it's heavy as all hell, isn't terribly appealing to me. I don't want to destroy that amp, and I don't want to have a failure at a gig. So I'm actually looking at putting together a very lightweight but effective, efficient gigging rig. So that'll be something you can look forward to me talking to you about. I've got a couple of things in mind already. There's a lot of little small, usually Class D powered micro amp heads that are available. And I've got a couple of things in mind for the eventual, and some lightweight cabinets, which is where, you know, most of your weight usually is anyway. I want something that I can easily, you know, move myself, portable. Not necessarily small portable, but lightweight is the deal here. I'm going to be 53 next week, and I don't need to be hauling crap around that, you know, like I did when I was 25. I didn't need to be doing it then. I've got an old back injury from when I was a kid that really should preclude me from moving anything, you know, over 50 pounds. But, you know, you can't tell me a damn thing, right? So speaking of things you can't tell me, a while back I did a review of a pedal, and let's face it, I gushed about it. That's all there is to it. It was the Rowan Frenzy pedal, the smallest distortion pedal I'd ever seen. And I still stand by everything I said. It was wonderful. It sounded like you could swap it out for any $250 pedal from the likes of Does It Doom or Fuzzlord, as much as I'd love to own those pedals too. But it was amazing. It just a killer Doom fuzz. I liked it so much, I thought, you know what? They're selling for $16. I'm going to order a second one, just in case there's ever a point in time when that one takes a crap on me or they're not available anymore, whatever it is. I just, you know, for that kind of money, I'll get a second one. I finally understand why, along with all the very positive reviews, I saw many terrible ones. The Frenzy that's down here on my board sounds fantastic. The Frenzy that's right here in my hand sounds like SAUTEED RECTUMS. No idea why. There are no settings on here that will fix the fact that just this thing just sounds like ass. It just, no matter what setting you have it on, it sounds totally blown out, and it's just, it has no redeeming qualities. So for any of you out there that ordered one, you know, having taken my recommendation and got one of these, you know, my apologies. Don't give up on the pedal though. I mean, send it back, order another at this price, you know, I mean, what the hell. But when you do get a good one, it's gold. That's all there is to it. It's amazing. So my apologies if you fall into that camp. But I did think it might be neat to, you know, get a sexy Georgielle type cable to plug into this and wear this as like a necklace. Whatever. If I ever go to the NAMM show again. If they ever have a NAMM show again here in the summer in Nashville like they used to, you know, maybe I'll wear one just for attention, because, you know, I'm starved for attention here. Speaking of things that might have grabbed your attention, I wanted to share a couple of fun finds with you that I've gotten in the last week, scouring around on Facebook Marketplace primarily. First up is this lovely V-Series SG Standard Special, SG Special from Epiphone. It isn't strung at the moment because I just cleaned it up, took off all the ridiculous stickers, and I'm actually waiting on a delivery from Amazon with some new strings. But anyway, this lovely thing, yes, it's a bolt-on, although I gotta tell you, first thing I thought when I saw this was, if at some point in time somebody offers an affordable aluminum neck that'll join up with an SG body, I'm in. I really want something with an aluminum neck, and obviously you can't do it with most SGs because they're glued in. But this guy, you could. So I could put in some real nice high-end pickups or something. I'd probably just keep the hardware. It looks fine to me. It's the Lock Pro stuff. Not the name brand, but Epiphone's own Pro Lock or whatever they call it series. And these pickups actually didn't sound bad at all. They just, you know, whatever. But what you're wanting to know is, what did I give for this lovely SG Special from the V Vintage series? Well, I'll tell you. Give you a hint. You're familiar with one of my personal favorite movies, Trading Places. The pawn shop scene with Bo Diddley where he says, in Philadelphia, it's worth $50. Well, guess what? $50. I was pretty tickled. And, you know, I needed another guitar, right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I've got a ton of stuff for sale right now, so I feel pretty good about it. The other thing I found, and I guess this is it's just a coincidence, things like this pop up when they do, is this lovely SG and the matte natural finish. That one is a 2017, by the way, as is this. Strange coincidence. This is an SG Standard. Glued in neck. Lovely, lovely wood. This thing sounds absolutely fantastic. Plays like a freaking dream. Can't wait to put some big strings on it and get it tuned down to C# standard. These were called G400s, but I think now they're just called standards. But again, great guitar. Hammered switch tip. I basically made a trade worth about $100 to get this. So, pair of sweet SGs from Epiphone, ready to doom their little asses off. About $150 for the pair. Stuff's out there, folks. Maybe not as much as it is here in Nashville, but if you're diligent, you'll find stuff. I always did when I lived up in Northwest Indiana. Of course, you know, that was the Chicagoland area, so there was kind of a wide swath, but it's neither here nor there. The point is, stuff's out there. Even vintage stuff. It still turns up, you know. You just have to be vigilant, you know. What's the old saying? Chance favors the prepared mind. So if you say you're lucky, it's probably more to do with the fact that you're busy than that you're lucky. You know, I guess luck does play a role, but whatever. So, see, we talked about SGs. We talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly with pedals. We talked about NAMM. We talked about an upcoming episode where I'm going to go over the new Rig of Doom pedal board, which is going to have, like I said, some surprises. Going to be really versatile, have a few things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with Doom right offhand, but my whole plan is to take Doom to somewhere where it hasn't been before, so we'll see, right? And I'll keep you updated on the new Doom gig rig, not the company gig rig, but my rig I'm going to get together for doing gigs, so I can leave the Amp of Doom at home where it's safe, because I love the damn thing. But that's about it. So until I do tell you that, and of course I'm going to do these reviews on the Keeley Super Bass and the Behringer Bass Brassmaster. Those will be coming up soon too. So until I talk to you next, stay cool, stay frosty. Don't take any wooden nickels unless you happen to collect them. Anybody out there does collect wooden nickels, drop a comment below. And while I'm on it, I'm going to stop in the middle of my own closing here. Drop me some comments. Tell me where you're watching from, what kind of music you're playing, what kind of gear you have, what kind of cool finds you've made, or even the ones that got away. I'm curious. I might mention you, by name in an upcoming episode. If you have pictures of stuff, by all means, send it along. I mean, I'll be happy to show whatever you've got to show. So, yeah, stay cool, stay frosty. Don't take any wooden nickels. Be good to yourself and others, especially in these trying days. And above all else, regardless of which one it happens to be, pick up and play your damn guitar. Alrighty? Till next time, Steve out.